Chapter 3: Fashioning a New Society in the Wilderness. We will be briefly discussing important topics seen in the chapters such as feudal inheritance, analyzing colonial society, women's suffrage in colonial America, and linking colonial America to contemporary America. Feudal inheritance is the process of which land is granted to the individual families in return for pledged loyalty and services. This process was primarily known to be used by the Catholic Church. Typically, a title and land would be granted to a nobleman of the reigning king's court. These titles and land were then passed down to a successor, often the eldest male offspring, closest related male heir, or a previously anointed heir. Next up, analyzing the colonists. Though the colonists had many ideas that were transferred over from England, they formed new practices, systems, and traditions that separated them as a new world. With access to more land, more opportunities arose. More people in America had titles over land than those in England, which allowed more people of a lower social class to vote in local colonial politics. These colonists had a better work ethic than their landless English counterparts. Another way the colonists separated themselves from the mother country was through capitalism. Though England was the birthplace of capitalism, many Englishmen, especially aristocrats, were suspicious. However, in the colonies, even small laborers and merchants were utilizing this system. Feminism, women in the Declaration of Independence, and more. Originally, women were not specifically mentioned in the Declaration of Independence or Constitution. Therefore, for centuries, many people assumed that all rights listed were only allowed for men. This prohibited women from voting, owning property, and other basic rights awarded to men. Though feminism didn't exist at the time, there are many historical figures such as Abigail Adams who shared ideas of equality. Women were only allowed to hold contract or own property, but only if they were unmarried or widowed. These rights were not given to them, however, if they had a husband. Many single women were allowed to work for their living. However, they were not given as much of a wage as men, a problem still prominent in today's society. American Protestant systems often benefited women, including being allowed to divorce if their husbands were cruel. Linking colonial America to contemporary America. Strict constructionism is a more popular belief among conservative parties, who are more likely to consider it in a literal form. Strict constructionism is an idea that the government should have less controls over the functions and rights of the citizens. This thought process links colonial America with today's America. Strict constructionism is exactly what the colonists were hoping to get away from when they separated from England. However, many people today would believe that our government has become involved in a strict constructionism society.
Created using Powtoon.